In a few moments, we will witness the story of the Titanic and the process of its sinking. At the moment of impact, we will see it from inside the ship. We will look at the real images of the iceberg that sank the Titanic and the marks it left behind. Then, through an experiment, we will learn what those who fell into the freezing water experienced, and we will follow the truth. The sound you just heard belonged to the distress call sent from the RMS Titanic. Using telegraph signals and Morse code, calls for help were sent to nearby ships. The Titanic was slowly beginning to sink. At the telegraph station stood a 25-year-old operator named Jack Phillips. He did not leave his post until the communication room was flooded. He acted heroically until the very end, but nothing he did was enough to stop what was coming. The Titanic would only be discovered 73 years after it sank, and everything would begin with the discovery of the wreck. The story actually began years earlier. In 1912, 111 years ago, newspapers announced in bold headlines that the Titanic would embark on her maiden voyage. The ship's image and ticket prices were proudly displayed. The Titanic was born out of competition in the transatlantic passenger trade. The company White Star Line decided not to build the fastest ship, but the largest, most luxurious, and most comfortable ever designed. We may not be the fastest, they believed, but who wants to cross an ocean feeling seasick? On April 10th, 1912, the Titanic departed from England under the command of Captain Edward Smith, heading toward. Warnings about icebergs had been received. New York. Another ship reported massive ice fields ahead, but the wireless operators were overwhelmed with sending first-class passengers private messages, the social media of that era. Near midnight, lookouts spotted something directly ahead, an iceberg. They rang the warning bell 3 times. Orders were given to turn sharply, but it was too late. At 11:40 p.m., the Titanic struck the iceberg on her starboard side. The iceberg sliced along the hull like a blade. 5 watertight compartments began filling with water. The ship could not survive. Distress rockets were fired. Nearby ships were contacted. The closest vessel failed to respond in time. At 2:20 a.m., the Titanic disappeared beneath the Atlantic Ocean. Over 1,500 people lost their lives. Many who fell into the freezing Atlantic waters died within minutes from hypothermia. Experiments later showed how quickly body temperature drops in icy water, how strength fades, coordination disappears, and survival becomes nearly impossible. The iceberg itself had broken off from Greenland nearly 300 days earlier. Formed from snow that had fallen thousands of years ago, it drifted silently across the ocean until that fateful night. Some researchers believe unusual atmospheric conditions may have distorted visibility, making the iceberg harder to see. History remembers the impact, but behind the sinking lies a chain of missed warnings, human decisions, natural forces, and fate. And this is only part 1 of the mysterious story of the Titanic.